It's going to be a very poignant moment. There'll be lots of very emotional moments later today, but a lot of moments of pride as well. What are you most... I mean, it sounds a strange question to ask, but what are you most looking forward to in this funeral? Because it's not going to be necessarily all sad. It is a celebration of a long and well-lived life as well, isn't it?
Yeah. What I really look for is what we've seen grow during these few days since the Queen passed away, and that is a togetherness, and that is a warmth, and that is talking to people you don't know and being polite and warm, and you all feel the same thing. So the emotions, and I think there's a great number of them in particular for this wonderful woman who's left us, are so enormous that you can all just help each other just by a chat. And I think that that's really what I want to see, that, you know, the United Kingdom is absolutely united.
Well, the camaraderie, and I mean, certainly anyone who's ever been out on the streets for any of these sort of events, everyone chatting to each other, and especially because people have had to get there so early, as we heard, the City Hall and the London Police have said, look, you know, there's no more access for anyone to come and view from any of these viewing areas, I mean, some of which just simply standing by the road. And so people are there for, you know, some people have been there since the early hours, some people were camping out, were they not, even days ago? And people have got to know the people sitting next to them. We've seen people in the queue waiting in line to view the coffin in lying in state, getting to know each other, inviting each other to each other's weddings and things. There is an incredible camaraderie at a time like this.
Yes, I mean, I was at Buckingham Palace 5:30 this morning, and actually you have to wait before you're allowed to go through the media gate. Yeah. And all the guys who were around there must have been about 50 people who are security people and people to help you which way to go, and they all want to talk, they want to discuss it with you as well, because they're part of it. And I think that's really important, that, you know, you're not just doing a job, you're there because it's your Queen and you respect her and you want to feel as much as everybody else is feeling. It was very moving, actually. Usually, you know, they see your passport and off you go, but this was very warm and cosy. And the second thing I want to go is to see, you know, the lovely family of Catherine and William and those two young ones.
Well, that was what came out last night. A number of things came out last night. We had the order of service with all the detail there of what's going to happen. We've known about the order in terms of the funeral processions, but as you say, that news that the little ones, Prince George, age 9, Princess Charlotte, age 7, not Louis, who's only 4 years old, will not just attend the funeral, but will actually walk in that procession. But that's going to bring up a lot of memories of William and Harry walking behind Diana's coffin, isn't it?
Yes, I think that it was to me that Harry first said, you know, it was absolutely outrageous that we did it. I can't imagine any adult do that. That was when I was writing his biography. But I think William also said just the other day when they walked behind the coffin, my grandmother's coffin, that he thought he would be okay. He tried to pursue his thoughts and make sure that he'd overcome it and it could be all right. But he said it didn't really work. And I think that's really absolutely understandable. But this time, when they're a united family, they can see how much, William can see how much he's changed and how lucky his life's been with a loving wife and 3 gorgeous children. And I think he will see it in a way very paternally, that he wants to show them what happens, that people can die, which is a very important thing in a way to show children. Often people do it with a goldfish or something so that they know that people don't go on forever. Mm-hmm. And this, they will be very comforted and cosseted by their parents.
Yeah. And you would normally take a child of that age to a grandparents. I certainly would, certainly in family members I've known, that would not be unusual. Let's also talk about, I mean, because the gossip mongers always do come back to this, the role of Harry and of course Meghan in this funeral. Of course, he is the Queen's grandson, along with, you know, all the others, you know, was it 8 of them who stood guard. Very really beautiful scenes, that vigil at Westminster Hall beside her coffin, and again some of that had not been expected until it just hours before it happened. Prince Harry will of course be joining that procession. Once again, we're seeing some of the royal women are going to be in a car rather than actually joining that procession. But there's still been this ongoing issue over the uniforms that Prince Harry can wear, the uniforms that Andrew can wear. Neither of them, I think, wearing their military uniform, not allowed. They were able to wear it for vigils, but just being able to wear their medals. There does feel somewhat, as an outsider to all of this, still quite a lot of pettiness. But is this just royal etiquette?
No, that's exactly the word I was going to use. If all that has happened, and I'll tell you that most of it is untrue, Harry didn't wear his grandmother's initials on his military uniform when he got married. So it's a nonsense that he's complaining about the fact that he wasn't allowed to have that. But it's just, keep quiet. This is not about you. It's not about...
I think that's what most people are thinking. The fact that these stories are slipping out, they're coming from somewhere, whether they're sources close to or friends of, they're not doing them any good.
No, I think they're doing them very, very bad. And I hope that they will think that this is not appropriate. It's not about them. It's about Her Majesty the Queen. But they can't do that. They were complaining today about the way the whole thing was programmed to make their lives difficult. Harry complained that he didn't know about that his grandmother was so ill or had passed away, the last person to know. And actually Buckingham Palace have come out against that, which is extraordinary. They never usually say a thing. And they said the only reason he got it a bit later was that he was in a plane and we couldn't contact him. He was flying to Scotland. So, they look for trouble. That's what it is. They look for trouble. They look for tiny incidents that they can blow up into some great magnitude and present themselves as victims. They should just shut up. If they don't want to be there, don't come. If you are there, come and behave yourself.
Couldn't agree with you more. Angela, let's end on a more appropriate, not happier. No, happier is the wrong word, I think, on a day like this. But in terms of your memories of the Queen, in terms of your view of her reign over those 70 years, over her 96 years on this planet, and her importance not just to us in this country, but also globally. Tell us your final thoughts ahead of the funeral.
Well, I think she's a role model, absolutely. I think that her sense of duty, her sense of loyalty to the country and the Commonwealth, I find that something that we should all look up to. Obviously, we're not running around helping the Commonwealth, but that we should have a sense of duty. She also did her best with her children and got better as time went on, and that she got a bit used to being.
She was a woman of a certain generation and a certain class, wasn't she? That touchy-feeling parenting wasn't a thing.
But I think, when you see how much love she's got from her children, grandchildren and great-grandchildren, you could see little Louis talking to her non-stop on the balcony during the Jubilee. And I think that if you are loved when your children are grown up, and certainly when they have their own, because children can see right through you. And if they don't like you, they won't come to you. But they all have loved her. And I think that's a wonderful achievement, as well as all the things that she's handled, living through the war and very many difficulties that we have, and helping us with the pandemic. She is like a grandmother to us all in a way. But when she spoke about the pandemic, she certainly helped me, because I felt very close at home, and she made me feel it will be all right. We will meet again.
Yeah. Oh, every time we discuss that, it gives me goosebumps every single time. We never won't.